So looking around this locker room, a little different than Bethpage Credit Park, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
This locker room's a little different than Bethpage Credit Park in Central Islip?
Just a little. Yeah, there's a couple bigger names in here than what we had for the Ducks, but yeah, no, it's a pretty special place.
What did you learn with your time with the Ducks, with Lou Ford and the pitching coach Bobby Blevins?
Yeah, what I learned how to love the game again. They really and truly, they just let me be me. They said, we're here to win ball games. Go out there and be yourself. So I didn't really get to spend too much time with them, but what I can say is they just let me be me, and it paid off for me.
Yesterday, your stuff looked electric. What did you feel? I mean, facing those batters, they were walking away shaking their head.
Yeah, I mean, I took to last year's success, kind of had a little self-eval for me. I took last year's failing when I got traded over here, and I took it into the offseason as what to work on. And so that kind of was my offseason focus was just how quickly can I get you to 2 strikes? If I can get you to 2 strikes in 1 pitch because I get a pitch clock violation, then that works even better for me. But try to get there in 2 pitches and then put you away as fast as possible. I just think for me, my stuff is too good to keep nibbling, and I'm at the point now in my career where I need to stop doing that. I need to just see how good I can be, just going right at them. So
that's interesting because I know Jeremy Hefner, he preaches, throw pitches with conviction. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned nibbling. There have been guys that for years, Sonny Gray comes to mind, where sometimes he tried to get too fine. How do you get away from that mindset, not being afraid to throw a certain pitch in a certain count?
Remembering that the person standing in the box is also human. They, just like I'm human and I make mistakes, they're human, they make mistakes. It's not every time that they're going to swing and hit a ball over the fence or they're going to get a base hit or, they could hit a 120-mile-an-hour line drive right at somebody. It's still an out. They feel good. I feel good too because now you're not on base and you're out. So just remembering too that they're humans. They also mess up, and they don't hit every pitch. They don't see every pitch. So I'm trying to just remember that, being present into that moment. That's kind of what I'm taking out of it.
You take a look also over every single year. There's so many advances in technology that help both hitters and pitchers. If you look at the Dare system and the TrackMan and all these different things available. In your offseason, when you said you reflected on that and your successes, how much do you lean on that technology to look at, whether it be arm slot or just, posture on the mound to try and replicate that success?
So I looked at TrackMan, Edgertronic, really whenever I start throwing my bullpens, just ultimately too, just to make sure the pitches are staying relatively the same, give or take a few, because I know each day is different. And then I'm trying I found the guy I was working with, we found some of my mechanics stuff. So we kind of did a little bit of things with the mechanics to found what are on my hardest throws, what did I do physically, and then on my slower ones, if you will, what did I do physically. And so we tried to just take out well, if you just think do this every time, you'll do it. It's no, we're just gonna put you in the position that you need to be in, and then that's what you're gonna do. So it wasn't a whole bunch of technology, so to say. It's more of just TrackMan and Edgertronic.
Take a look at this locker room, and there are so many arms here, and lots of really good arms. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the fact, trying to be your best version of yourself. You're also trying to make a team. How do you temper that? Not overthrowing, not trying to get 2 strikes on 1 pitch or a strikeout on 1 pitch. How do you manage that live BP to try and catch the eye of the GM and the manager, but not get away from being yourself?
I think just being if you can just stay within, if you can be present, be kind of where your feet are, that ultimately will keep you in the moment. It won't let the moment get too big because you remember where your feet are, you remember you're grounded in that moment, so you're not trying to do too much, you're not trying to do too little. that and just like ultimately like I am the best version of myself. So remembering like in my head, just make your pitch. Whatever the catcher puts down or whatever you feel convicted in, like that's the pitch that you need to make, and just go with that. And because that's ultimately that's what you like. When I say you, I'm talking about myself. You feel the most conviction, you feel the most confidence in at the time. So that's for me. That's how I stay in the moment. Just remember, where's my feet? My feet aren't in the dugout. My feet aren't in the press box. My feet aren't in the crowd. My feet aren't in the bullpen. My feet are standing right here, 60 feet, 6 inches away from the batter. And my job is to execute a fastball up, a sweeper down, or whatever it might be. Like that's what I'm supposed to do.
Working with Jeremy Hefner, what have you found so far, like that he's been able to help you with?
Honestly, he's just kind of just told me just be me, have conviction. It's kind of been a really good mixture of like the technology as well as like the old school way of, listen, your stuff's good, keep doing that. Like, so kind of like embedded in you like confidence, like you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. So now like it's almost second nature. Like now you believe that you're good. So that's all I've had to work with so far. But I'm hoping that I get to spend a whole lot more time with him this year.
So lastly, reflecting on that, what do you think it would be like, for a fan base of the Ducks to be able to see you at Citi Field for an entire season?
I mean, honestly, I think it'd be pretty cool. Hopefully some of the Ducks fans still remember me. I think it would be cool to see, like, I go from one area of Long Island to another in a year's time. Hopefully that they're Mets fans and they're not the other New York fans. But I think it'd be pretty cool to see. And now that's like, I remember watching him, last year when he was playing for the Ducks. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Awesome.